Can everybody see that all right? Okay, perfect. Okay, so like I said, we do have some of the committee members on here. So whenever we kind of get to that introduction slide, if you don't mind introducing yourself, that would be awesome. And outside of that, anybody on the call, at any point, if you want to jump on, ask questions, if you have thoughts, input, anything like that, please do so. There's not a set time where it's just Q&A. Pretty much this whole thing is open discussion. So let's begin. All right, first want to just thank all of our sponsors that help make this possible. Make sure everybody knows that we do have social media accounts for NERSA, that it helps out sending information through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and the website. We also have a hashtag that everybody's been using. So throughout any of this and your other presentations, please help trying to share that. If you are sharing any of the presentations, include NERSA, use the hashtag. It helps us promote what's going on in the region. Okay, so here is the Fitness and Wellness Committee. So I'm James Thayer. I'm at Washburn University, and I'm the committee chair. So any of the other committee members, if you would like to introduce yourselves.
My name is Jake Heidenreich, and I am the graduate assistant for strength conditioning at Oklahoma State University, and I am the vice chair of this committee.
My name is Selena Tabuena. I'm the coordinator of fitness at Oklahoma State University, and I'm a member of the committee.
Morning, my name is Miranda Price. I'm the fitness and wellness coordinator at Texas A&M University, and I am also a committee member.
Good morning, I'm Cecily Shambaugh Adams, and I'm at the University of Missouri St. Louis, and I am a committee member as well.
And it looks like Zach and Kelsey aren't on here, but they're also members of this committee. So real quick, an overview of the whole point of the committee and kind of why we got this introduced. So Region 4 noticed that we were lacking in committees and didn't have those in place like other regions in our in NERSA. And so went through and had several introduced. There's several roundtables on it. So if you get the opportunity, try to attend some of those and get some insight into what each of these committees are doing. So for the Region 4 Fitness Committee, it's charged with developing outreach and programming for fitness students and professionals within the region. The committee works to support, provide guidance, and enhance the work of Region 4 fitness employees. The major focus of the committee is to execute in-depth assessment of what our fitness members need, find ways to add value to the NERSA membership, and create opportunities to unite our fitness members. The goals of this committee is to create and execute in-depth assessment of what the members need, find ways to add value to the membership, and create opportunities to unite our fitness members and community. Okay, so, getting ahead of myself. So earlier in the semester, we sent out a survey, and that survey was looking at getting feedback from, sorry, trying to adjust some of these boxes. Looking at getting feedback from everyone in our region to get some input on what they would like to see in the committee and help us help guide our direction a little bit. So with the survey, we sent it out to 89 people directly. We had 11 bounce backs that were no longer in that position or with Campus Rec or had left the university. So that brought us to 78 direct messages. We had about a little under 34% response from that. And below is some of the initial data we got. So we looked at state representatives, respondees, Texas kind of leading the way, and Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, and Louisiana under that. So what you might see or recognize with that is we weren't able to get any responses from Arkansas or New Mexico. So one of our goals, I think not just in the fitness committee, but the region as a whole, is to try to get those states more involved and get a greater input. So if anybody knows people directly from Arkansas and New Mexico, please feel free to reach out to them, and let's try as a fitness community to get them more involved, because I'm sure they're doing great things, and it would be beneficial to all of us to know what they're doing and how we could help as a community.
So James,
yep,
coming from Arkansas, how do I let you know that I'm interested in getting information from you guys?
Okay.
I mean, we're not NERSA members. I'm just, and come to conferences periodically, and this one was really easy to come to. So I was wondering about, do we shoot an email? I'd love to be on any, get emails.
Thank you very much, Shane, for reaching out. So I'll put my email address in the chat. So feel free to message me directly, and we can kind of go from there. NERSA member, not NERSA member, doesn't really matter to me. The more outreach we can do, I think it just helps the community as a whole. So thank you for attending and representing Arkansas.
That's right.
Kind of going from there. So we asked who was a NERSA member and who wasn't. So with those results, we got 19 people responding that they were members and 7 responding that they weren't members. Another aspect that we looked at is the certification organization membership. So knowing what organizations our members use and where they kind of find value in their certifications that most impact their current positions. So we found ACE had the highest at 16 responses, TRX had 15, group fitness instructors specifically had 11, ACSM and yoga had 10, and then NSCA had 8. So those were tied for our top 5. That's kind of how it looked. It broke down there a little bit further, but from the results, that's where we saw the focus of memberships and organizations that fitness was getting certified through. Maybe. All right. So one of the other questions that we were looking at, and this is pared down a little bit. So again, anybody that wants to jump on that was able to provide feedback or wasn't able to provide feedback and would like a greater discussion, here's some of the bullet points or highlights from it. So some of the benefits that people responded with that they saw from a NERSA membership was the opportunity to network, connect, and build a community. They were able to visit sites, attend roundtables, and do virtual tours, had access to materials, discussion boards, roundtables, and webinars, and were able to join in group discussions, breakout sessions based on the size, the state, and comfortability in having some of those smaller, more direct information panels. Some of the barriers that people listed were overwhelmingly the cost of the membership, of attending some of these events. With this virtual one, it kind of opens the doors potentially to getting more out there in our fitness community, making it more accessible to professional staff, to students. I know with the cost that came up several times is if we look at the cost to be a NERSA member and the cost to attend regional and national events, while also looking at the cost of trying to maintain your certification, that sometimes those were juxtaposed and clashed, and people weren't always able to choose both. So that's something that the committee's been made more aware of, and we're looking at what are potential opportunities to help offset that. Like mentioned before, maintaining our primary certification and membership. So in fitness, under every single one of your job descriptions, you have a requirement of either a personal trainer certification, a group fit certification, maybe a wellness coach, or other certifications that are required by your job. So it's a little unique to our program area, as well as outdoor adventure and aquatics, that we have a baseline requirement of certification for our job. So that's something that we need to be mindful of in consideration with how that fits into the NERSA membership, and how the committee and Region 4 can look at creating greater benefits for our members and kind of incentivizing that membership. A larger price point of membership and conference compared to fitness ones. So mentioned several times, if we're comparing them directly, that NERSA can be very expensive. Whenever you look at the membership, the enrolling into a conference, the travel, plane tickets, food, hotel stay, that if you do have a professional development budget, that can eat that up very, very quickly. And if you don't have a professional development, or it's not supported by the university, that's a lot of money out of pocket to try to pay for. So it's something that we want to be mindful of. As mentioned in the below bullet, that it's not covered by university or department. So several people listed that they didn't have that support directly from the university or the department. And then the last one was the transferability of job skills knowledge, or job specific knowledge, skills, and CEUs. When attending this, it's through several of the sessions so far, we've talked about the ability to gain CEUs to help with our certification. So I know with the committee, that's going to be one of our big focuses, is trying to offer reduced cost or free CEU opportunities to our fitness and wellness community to kind of offset some of that. All right. So moving forward, and again, at any point, if anybody wants to jump in and add their 2 cents, please feel free to do so. So some things that the committee has talked about. I want to put this out there first, that this is a new committee. We're still trying to find where we can be most beneficial to fitness and wellness community in Region 4, and where our limitations are. So being the committee chair, as of right now, we don't have a budget. So that does put some limitations on our ability to offer things, but we're looking at where those opportunities are from NERSA, and where some options are that we can potentially bring things directly to fitness and wellness. So some involvement opportunities that we've discussed and are looking into starting to implement, either some this semester, hopefully next semester, is virtual sessions. So looking at potentially offering virtual sessions monthly, maybe twice a month, but having something available that people can go to that keeps everyone involved. Ideally, we would like to pair these with CEUs. Looking at if there's an option of having traveling clinics or workshops whenever that option opens back up. I can't say that that'll be next semester. It kind of depends where everybody's at, but keeping that in the back of our mind, if that option is available, how can we utilize that? Updating our regional contacts. So like I mentioned at the very beginning, we sent out 89 emails, had 11 bounce backs. So in this industry, trying to get connected, if we have that availability to directly message or reach out to our members, I think it makes us all more aware of what's going on in the region. So our committee is working on updating that email list so we can be more aware of who's around our region and who's within our states, to have more of a regional and statewide outreach. We're looking at, in addition to that, having that updated contact list that'll help us promote fitness certifications at the state and regional level, potentially provide the ability to pull resources. In some of our states, it's very one school dominant, or there's not a lot of nurse activity in that state. So one state might be on an island where this could potentially bring out the opportunity for state to pull resources, or like Texas that has 60 plus schools all doing something different. It might give that opportunity to be more aware of what each school is doing. And so we're not repeating those sessions, or maybe we can work together to offset our offerings. Texas does a great job that they have the FAST conference, that they stay connected and are able to disperse that information, but hopefully with the fitness committee that we can help aid that and direct that information or populate it to a greater outreach than just at the FAST conference. Hopefully looking into low cost or free CCCUs, talking about how we can integrate the fitness industry model into what we do in NERSA. Sometimes I think we can get lost in a bubble that we're doing things in fitness within a university setting without the consideration of what the fitness industry is doing outside of our university bubble or our campus rec bubble. So looking at the models that are being utilized could present opportunities that we haven't quite reached, or delivering information in ways that we haven't thought about yet. Another thing we'd like to do is recognizing our members. So NERSA Region 4 is already doing this, a little bit of member spotlights or highlights. So hopefully with our committee, we can do that directly focused towards fitness and wellness, and looking at what they're doing, like what great things our members are doing at their university, in the region, both in campus rec and outside of campus rec. Because again, back to that fitness industry model, I think it's important if somebody's doing things outside of campus rec, if they have those connections to fitness entities, that it allows us to bring in greater information, possibly workshop certifications directly in, and we have a direct connection through our members, because we have a lot of people doing a lot of great things. We just don't know about it. So we're hoping to help with that. Some of the suggestions we got for
Hey, Jamie, real quick. And then with that, I think also comes opportunities. I'm going to do a plug for our communications committee. I'm sure some of you have probably seen this already, but we have a wellness tip of the week. And although we started with specifically just the fitness committee, if that's something that you're interested in and would like to participate in, please feel free to email Jamie or myself, because we don't want to limit it to just those individuals. I know there's a lot of great fitness professionals in this region, and you have a lot of wellness tips and advice to give. So feel free to email Jamie. Jamie's email's in the chat, so we'll just leave it at that. But we're always open to anything. I see Anna's in this. I see a lot of familiar faces that have already posted their wellness tips, so thank you for that. But if you're interested, let us know.
Yeah, thank you, Daniel. By all means, whether it's the communication committee, whether it's the fitness committee, if you want to get involved, there's opportunities to do so. All you have to do is reach out. Like Daniel said, email him, email me, email any of the committee members that if you're wanting to get involved in NERSA in the region, we will definitely find a way to be able to help promote that and put that out there. So yeah, some of the suggestions for the Region 4 committee was looking at recording sessions for a virtual library or a digital portfolio. So kind of what we're doing right now, going through and recording this, but through either pre-recorded presentations or live virtual ones, starting to develop a library that's our members or people interested, our students, that we can send out that information, that we have a library that they can go and start learning from that could help reduce the cost of it, as well as having a digital portfolio for anybody that's in Region 4, that they have these pre-recorded and they have access to them. So whenever they're going and looking at implementing it, whenever they're applying for other jobs, that they have this available to potentially send out and be able to utilize, or if they want to start working with fitness companies, that this is another way that they can add to that portfolio or to their resume. Potentially looking at incentives for presenters. So looking at how to bring up the quality and the delivery that we're able to offer through our presentations. Again, this kind of goes back to that NERSA operating sometimes in a bubble and not outside of a campus rec or university setting, that in other conferences, sometimes presenters are compensated, whether that's through reduced fees in membership and attendance, or compensated through travel and cost. So potentially looking at where those limitations are for us and where the opportunities are to hopefully integrate that. Looking at creating a Region 4 share drive for fitness and wellness. Daniel, correct me if I'm wrong, but communication already has that.
Yeah, that's what we operate off of primarily.
Okay, perfect. So that model's already out there, that the communication committee is already using it. Kansas as a state is already using that. So we're looking at integrating that a little bit more, and that'll also help with having that updated contact list. Potentially opening up the discussion of paying students to attend education sessions. And in that, maybe instead of, we're looking at how to educate our staff, and now with the limitations of not being able to meet as frequently in person, this could potentially be an option depending on what the limitations of the school are or where their policies fall on this. But having the presentations like today at the conferences, or the future presentations we're offering, potentially including that into students' work hours might incentivize them to attend some of these things. That's going to be very, very individual based on the university, I understand, but it's just something that came up in our surveys. Looking to fitness and wellness sponsors to hopefully make some of these options more available and create greater resources, as well as potentially looking into generating funds for scholarships to help our fitness and wellness community. All right, so from the survey that we sent out, that's the bulk of the information that I wanted to put out there and that I wanted to have available for everybody. As we progress from here, I'm just going to give you some updates, some highlights, and then we're going to go into potentially breakout sessions or just open dialogue through this. One of the things I wanted to put out, one of our sponsors, Ace Fitness. If you don't know, they do offer monthly free webinars. All you need to attend a webinar is to have an ACE account. It costs absolutely nothing to have an ACE account. All you have to do is put an email in and have a password. You don't have to be certified, anything like that. So if you're looking for resources for professional staff, for student staff, ACE does a free webinar every single month. The website to it is right there. All you have to do is go to education, and to the live workshop tab. And they record these at ACE facility and do a Q&A afterwards, so they can directly answer your questions. Each one's about an hour long if you want CEUs for it. After the fact, you can go and you have to pay for a quiz for it. I think it's typically $20 or $19 whatever. But you can actually just attend the webinar without the CEU for free completely. And every 6 months they update this list, so they have different professionals around the country presenting different topics and different information. So if you weren't aware of that resource, it's a great one that is available to everybody. And it's an easy way to send that to our professional staff or our students to continue their education. I think one thing that's really important with our trying to have this community and try to get more involved is looking at how we can support each other and looking at how we can get more involved. And that kind of starts with this virtual conference. If you're able to, going and attending some of these sessions and supporting the fitness topics that are available today, or not just today, but in this conference. So here I just wanted to highlight a couple of those that we have several going on today, several going on tomorrow, that if you have that opportunity, please try to attend those. Ask questions, be involved, share, similar to this. If you want to screenshots, go ahead and share it. It only helps us out in the region and with our different committees and communities to create greater exposure. And that's really what we're trying to do as a whole, is just greater exposure, greater outreach. So if you have the opportunity, there's a list of fitness and wellness specific conferences or sessions that are coming up today and tomorrow. So attend those if you can. Before we get into the breakout sessions or the topics available for that, I did want to bring up one more point. So I know with this semester, a lot of us are experiencing difficulties in programming, in interaction, that there's a lot of fatigue, a lot of stress. So hopefully this next slide helps, brings a smile or brings at least a laugh to you, to take you away from that for, if anything, just a second. And also with us looking at trying to create greater outreach, exposure, and really highlight and promote all the great things in Region 4. I just want to vie for considering this and starting this potentially as a trend in our committee. So communication committee, think about it. And that is a certain hashtag, and that's for dogs of Region 4, or Region 4 dogs. Or if you don't have dogs and you have some lesser pets like cats or hamsters, I don't know what you have, pets of Region 4. So to start this trend, here are my two dogs. They also have their own hashtag, Blue Suited Gentlemen. So please feel free to use that hashtag too. I think last time I checked, Dogs of NERSA had 2 posts in it. So let's take that over and let's hopefully try to expand that, and at the very least, share some smiles and share our pets. All right, so moving on past that, the last bit I have, we're going to go into the breakout sessions or just open discussion. With this, we have the next 30 minutes, but that doesn't mean it has to go the full 30. We'll kind of see where the conversations go. So if you would like to stay around for the open discussion, please feel free to do so. If you don't want to, nothing's keeping you here. I appreciate you attending. And here's kind of some of the topics that were brought up from the breakout session discussion. Let me see where we're at real quick. Daniel, do you think we could potentially do the breakout sessions?
Yeah, I mean, I can make it happen. I just need to know who and where, or are we just going to split them up, or how do you want to go about that?
I think the easiest would be if we could do a personal training, group fitness, or depends how many we're limited to, but if we just did 4 open ones of PT, group fit, facilities, and wellness, and just let people go where they wanted.
Okay.